all three. You have to limit yourself. But when you're looking at this thing, and if you have no idea, if you know where you're at, you know where you've been, you know where you want to go. Now you're moving forward, you're going somewhere. You're laying out this plan in your mind. You have to have some kind of ambition. You have to have some kind of goal. And then when you start creating these things, you start lining them up, you start putting them all into proper order. If you looked around, even this right here is somewhat distracting from the original thing. Do you remember where we started at a while ago? A while ago, you walked in, I had a big old long list of everything. That is indicative, in other words, that is, David, descriptive of our life. It's just a big old mess. Does somebody ever feel like your life is a big mess?
Sure.
And so everyone was talking about this morning, what do we do? I said, so as an example, right now I am redoing my shop again.
How many times?
Well, every time I redo it, it gets better. But the thing is that the other day I got watching, and right before it happened, I remember looking at Amber and I'm thinking to myself, oh no. And I tell her, I said, we're going to get some snow. And why it was important to me, because all of my tools there were all in what was the building. And something says, you need to move them. Well, where am I going to put all these tools at? I don't have no room for them. I was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? Well, the next morning, because I didn't listen, guess what? I looked out there, and all on top of all of my tools is a roof. And I'm thinking, oh no. So what I've got to do is I've got to back up now, and now I've got to do it. And so I get them all moved in. And so I didn't like they were not how I wanted them all done, how I wanted everything laid out. And I started working on it last night. The problem is that everything is a big mess right now except for the areas that I'm working in, and I'm slowly working out. If I walked in, or one of y'all walked into my building right now, your first reaction would go, oh my Lord.
It looks great in here.
Huh?
I said, oh my Lord, it looks great in here.
Yeah. You would sit there and you'd go, what? If you looked at this today and everything that's been done, if you looked at it and thought, I'll never get all this stuff done. How do you do it? What I do is I walk into my building, Dory. I find one thing. I find one thing. Whatever it is, the first thing I see, I grab it and I take that one thing and I put it in its place. I walk back over. I see something else. I put it in its next spot. I don't sit and listen to myself say, oh man, I'm never going to get done. I don't get distracted. I try to keep myself focused. Somebody will call, somebody try to bother me. I'm focusing. I'm focusing upon what I'm doing. I will hear myself. Something will say, you ain't got no help. You ain't got this. You ain't got that. How come your grandkids won't come over? How come you don't have no help? Blah, blah, blah. That's a distraction. I don't need that crap. I've got a job to do. So the thing is that I learned to take one thing at a time, and it's the first thing you see.
It's got to be prioritized.
And you start it, and you start creating a spot. Then you can step back and you say, okay, now how can I make this better? So what I start saying is that where is my wasted space? What do I don't need? These are my areas that I'm working in. What do I not need in this area? It's like, as an example, I've made me a big area for my miter saw, David. Big, nice area. You know what's sitting right beside my miter saw? A deer blind.
That's a good place for it.
Well, it's time to move that sucker.
That's right.
I won't need that deer blind for another year. So I take it, I go put it somewhere where I will be able to find it. You start prioritizing things. You start cleaning out things. You start getting rid of things. And then as you're doing this, you'll start realizing, wait a second, I got too much junk. I was so proud of my daughter last night. She says, "Hey, Dad, I'm cleaning out my my closet. You have about 3 trash bags?" And I'm thinking, that probably covered her socks. But I was proud of her because she's making progress. She's doing something to streamline. She asked me, she said, "Dad, is it possible because I need to run a separate breaker?" Okay, we can do this. Now I'm waiting for her to say, "Okay, Dad, we're ready." So you see how things work. We position ourselves to receive these things. I'm trying to position myself because you know what I want? You know what I really want? I want my grandkids. I want to be able to fight and wrestle with my grandkids. I used to have this one little boy come over all the time. His name was R. And I'd wrestle with him every morning. I always loved that. God loves that about us as well. I guarantee you, God desires us as much as we desire those that are around us. The problem is that I have responsibilities that I have to do. I have a business. I have family. I've got to cook. I've got to do all these things. I walk in last night and I working in the shop, and I had realized that I had left out ribs and some chicken. And they had to be cooked last night. Well, guess what Monty had to do? I cooked them. It was 11 something by the time I got done. But guess what? If not, I would have wasted them. So the thing is that that's sometimes an adult's responsibility. We have things we got to take care of. We all can't just drop it. But yet, as well, I want to be able to learn to take time to spend with my grandkids. Amber always says, it's winter. You're not going to see your grandkids in the winter because it's cold. I see Zane and Blade both running around here with no shoes on. I said, ain't that cold? I want to receive God's blessing, and God's blessing to me is my grandchildren, my children. I want to see my family around me. I want to see my church family around me. What do I have to do to be and to create this? That's a blessing. What do I have to do? The first step of anything is you have to have a desire. If you don't have a desire, then you're never going to have anything. What do you desire? Do you desire more time with your family? You desire this? You desire that? You know, all I'm really trying to say here is that if we would learn to realign ourselves, life could be so much easier, so much better. Kai Dory taught me a lesson years ago. I love hospice. Hospice and Fern is one of my favorite things. And Dory taught me the lesson of putting hospice in pots. Because you know what I hate, Carrie, about hospice? Nothing about the hospice. It's this stupid plant that we have here that grows everywhere. I can't remember the name of that stuff, but it's that little moss stuff, not moss, it's got these little round leaves. Amber loves the smell of it. And you know what I'm talking about, that grows all in the shade and all that.
That stuff that covers my ground?
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
She loves it, and I hate it. You know why I hate it? Because it grows in your other plants, and then it'll grow over them. It looks like kudzu. And the thing is that every year you have to get out there and weed that crap to see your pretty plants. Well, I look at Dory, and I'm like, because Dory's yard always looks pretty to me, and I'm like, okay, then I'm going to model myself after Dory. And so what she started doing, she told me one year about David, about putting her hospice. You know what I said? Ain't going to work.
Fish juice.
And all of a sudden, one spring, David, I walk over there, and my hospice ain't even out of the ground yet, and her hospices are up and looking pretty. And I'm like, oh yeah, I learned my lesson. And then I go down the road, and there's a lady that I love her yard, and she's got these big hostas, and she's got them in big pots. And now it's validated, because I've seen it here and I've seen it there. And I'm like, yes,
Confirmation.
this is going to work. It's confirmation. This is going to work. And so now every year, guess what? The only thing I've got to do? We got to take the pots out, set them, and then put them back up, get them out of the way, and not worry about that. And now my ideal of weeding that flower bed is, I take the pots out, get my weed eater, and go in there and knock that crap down, set the pots back in. Carrie, my yard work is done.
My bill is in the mail.
I love it. Sorry?
My bill is in the mail.
So, if you're willing to learn, if you're willing to listen, and if you have a desire, you can achieve anything.
Yeah.
But always seek God first.
Glory to him.
And if you seek God, it says, seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, everything else will be added to it.
Yep.
But you have to show the desire. What is my desire? What do I want? I don't want my grandkids. Has anybody ever lived a life and you look back and you go, what was all of it about? You go to work every day, and at the end of your day, what do you have?
End of your day. End of your day.
They say that the most valuable thing in the world, does anybody know the most valuable thing in the world, what it is?
Time.
There's an old man put out a video, he's 80-something years old. And he says, you worked all your life because somebody sold you on a dream, and you spent all this time pursuing this dream, pursuing this idea, only to wake up an old person who's in poor health, living off medication. You finally got enough money that you can do something, but you don't feel like doing something anymore. See, I want to live in this existence to where I can go do things with my family. You know, that's what I want. What do y'all want? Somebody close, just get us out of here.
Hey, Kai, you close this, please?
I got you. Dear Heavenly Father, I'd just like to thank you for allowing us all to gather here today, Lord. Father, my heart goes up to everybody who's not here today. Father, may you just be with them and keep them safe today, Lord. Father, I pray that everybody stays safe as they go home today and driving on the road. Still I see, and help us to just remember your word, Lord. Remember what was spoken today, and help us to reanalyze our priorities, where we're at in life. And as Monty was speaking, I learned that in order to plan for the future, you have to learn from the past. You have to learn, you have to grow each and every day. That's what we should strive for, to grow in our relationship with you and learn from our past mistakes, learn where to do better and how we can help each other out. Father, I just pray that we keep this in mind as we go throughout our week, and help us to just, if we find someone who needs us, someone who's in need, help us to be there for them and just do what you called us to